welcome to Optimize My Life, the ultimate radio show where we unlock the secrets to living our best lives. Now, before we dive into this exciting journey of self-improvement and empowerment, I want to take a moment to thank our incredible sponsor, the Hope Collection, for making this show possible. Their unwavering commitment to spreading hope and positivity in our lives is truly remarkable. We believe in the power of interaction, so we want you to be a part of this incredible journey. Call in, write to us, or connect on social media. We'd love to hear your questions, experiences, and challenges. Together, we'll create a thriving community of like-minded individuals, supporting each other to thrive and shine.
Well, good Saturday morning, everyone. This is Linda in Buffalo, New York, and welcome to the show. This is the Optimize My Life show brought to you by the Hope Collection. Hope you're having a wonderful day. It's a typical, beautiful autumn day here in upstate New York. We're closer. When you hear New York, you think of New York City, but we're the opposite side of the state. We're close to Niagara Falls, actually. And so welcome to the show if you're listening in. Today is October 12th already. October is a special month in our family. My mom will turn 97 on October 25th this year. And I'll be over to visit her a little later today. But October just brings a number of things with us. And for one thing, our friends in Canada are celebrating on Monday Thanksgiving, which is the Canadian Thanksgiving. American Thanksgiving is the end of November. Well, theirs is on the 14th of October this year. So that's really neat. Thanksgiving really first celebrated in Canada in 1879. And it's, again, just like our Thanksgiving, it really commemorates the autumn, the fall harvest. And so that's really, it's really neat. So, but, yes, typically, again, just like ours, we actually have a longer, because almost always our Thanksgiving is on a Thursday. And so we usually have Thursday and Friday and then Saturday and Sunday off. So it's always a long holiday in the States. So it's a 3-day holiday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday in Canada. And I spoke with our Canadian friends yesterday, actually, and asked how they were celebrating Thanksgiving this year. Actually, they're doing, a roasted chicken instead of a turkey, and a whole salmon. Oh, I love salmon, but I have never cooked a whole salmon yet. And so they'll have all their family and friends over up in Canada, on Monday, or probably even start Sunday. So, but that's fun. And then Monday here in the States, we celebrate Columbus Day. And actually, Columbus Day has been kind of joined in with Indigenous Peoples Day. And that the Indigenous Peoples Day started back in the 1980s in South Dakota, because then the governor of South Dakota sought ways to reconcile with Native Americans, and so the legislature declared 1990 a year of reconciliation to rename Columbus Day to Native American Day throughout the state of South Dakota. So it's kind of caught on, but we still celebrate the really both, a kind of a combination and actually, it's funny when you think, Indigenous Peoples Day or Native American Day was brought by the governor trying to, reconcile and kind of, gather votes, as it were, from Native Americans. Really, the Columbus Day kind of started the same way. It really had, let's see if I can find in my notes here. It had its starts really by the Knights of Columbus in the Catholic Church. The Knights of Columbus really pushed for having it. I had some notes here, and I'm trying to find where I had it. So let me see here. Okay, here it is. 1937, President Franklin Roosevelt proclaimed Columbus Day a national holiday, largely as a result of intense lobbying by the Knights of Columbus, an influential Catholic fraternal organization. And Columbus Day is observed the second Monday in October. And it is a federal holiday. All federal offices are closed, but not all states grant it as a day off from work. New York State does. So we always had that day off. But since I retired, I have every day off, so it doesn't matter. But it's fun. Now, Columbus himself, Christopher Columbus, he was an Italian-born explorer, and in August 1492, he left Italy bound for Asia with backing from the Spanish monarchs King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella aboard the ships Niña, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. It's one of those things you always learned in school. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. So he intended to chart a western sea route to China, India, and the fabled Gold and Spice Islands of Asia. Instead, on October 12, 1492, he landed in the Bahamas, becoming the first European to explore the Americas since the Vikings established colonies in Greenland and Newfoundland during the 10th century. Later that October, Columbus sighted Cuba and believed it was mainland China. I guess the maps weren't very well developed by then. In December, the expedition founded Hispaniola, which he thought might be Japan. There he established Spain's first colony in the Americas with 39 of his men. In March 1493, he returned to Spain in triumph, bearing gold, spices, and Indian captives to explore across the Atlantic several more times before his Kino 6. That is funny. Now, when we were in Florida a couple of weeks ago, luckily for us, before the hurricane hit, we were in St. Augustine, which is the oldest city in the United States, and it was founded by the Spanish. And I should know what year. Obviously not the 1400s, but sometimes it's about 1500s or so. And that was from Ponce de Leon, who was looking for the fountain of youth. So, and St. Augustine is such a wonderful, wonderful historic city. Hopefully they didn't have too much damage during this latest round of hurricanes. But it's fun to look back. You kind of shake your head and thinking, how did he think Japan? Well, he'd never been to Japan. Some things that we take for granted, GPS and world maps and satellites, tracking everything nowadays, are just unknown back then, obviously. So that's really, really something. But, it's good to celebrate holidays. Both Columbus Day, yes, sometimes you get negative, reviews of, when Christopher Columbus, they brought diseases with them and other different things like that. And, sometimes we just have to celebrate achievement. And in this case, it was the holiday really for celebrating Italian-American heritage. But throughout its history, Columbus Day and the man who inspired it, they generated controversy, which is why since the 1970s and 80s, the Indigenous People Day is now celebrated in many U.S. states and cities. So let me see if there's anything else of interest here. Okay, the first Columbus Day celebration took place in 1792 when New York's Columbian Order, better known as Tammany Hall, held an event to commemorate the historic landing's 300th anniversary. Taking pride in Columbus's birthplace and faith, Italian and Catholic communities in various parts of the country began organizing annual religious ceremonies and parades in his honor. Aha, so that's what it was. So in 1892, President Benjamin Harrison issued a proclamation encouraging Americans to mark the 400th anniversary of Columbus's voyage with patriotic festivals, writing, "On that day, let the people, so far as possible, cease from toil and devote themselves to such exercises as may best discover an appreciation of the great achievements of the 4 completed centuries of American life." All righty, so that was how that all started. So anyways, it's kind of interesting to look back and say, okay, we have Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day. How did that come about? And so that's just a little short history of that. But for Canadians now, for Thanksgiving being in October, I'm trying to see if there's a reason it was Thanksgiving was first celebrated nationally in Canada in 1879. It officially marked centuries of commemorating the fall harvest, which began, throughout North America. Let's see. The holiday was initially organized by Protestant clergy leaders in 1777, who dedicated it as a national day of public thanksgiving and prayer. And so we have now the difference in Canadian and American Thanksgiving food. I thought this was kind of interesting too. In addition to spending time with friends and family, we all love Thanksgiving for the food. Between Canada and American Thanksgiving, the main meal is fairly consistent: roasted turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, and other hearty dishes. However, like Newfoundland and Labrador, which is right on the Atlantic Ocean, they take a different approach by serving what's called a jig dinner: corned beef, root vegetables, and split peas. I'm not quite sure what that is. But similar to American Thanksgiving, you might see pumpkin pie served for dessert. But in the Canadian, whereas American pumpkin pie is super sweet, the pie filling, but their pie filling is infused with more cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and cloves to give it an extra spicy flavor. And of course, you would still get the butter tarts, which I love. Canadian butter tarts. And they would also grace the dessert table. Let's see. And so here's a recipe for a pumpkin pie. I'm not a pumpkin pie fan, but that's fun. Just know the differences between the U.S. Thanksgiving and the Canadian Thanksgiving. But it's good to celebrate. It's time to get together with friends and family. We got together with my husband's sister and her husband last night, and what a feast they gave us. Oh my, it was just wonderful. It sounded like something out of a fine dining restaurant, but actually it was even better than a fine dining. It was filet mignon and potatoes, cheesy potatoes, and asparagus and carrots and salad, and there was just so much food, wonderful rolls. The whole meal was just perfect, and it was just so much fun. And it was so much more relaxed than going to a fine dining restaurant, just sitting in their beautiful dining room and having, just a wonderful, wonderful time. And it's just so fun when you can get together with friends and family and just enjoy each other's company. And that really is what Thanksgiving, Canadian and American, or any other country, that you just have time just to get together with friends and family and just enjoy each other, plan what we'll do in the future, laugh about things we've done in the past. It just does the heart good. Just getting out of your daily routine of maybe, getting up, going to work, coming home, grabbing something for dinner, watching TV, and going to bed. How many days in a row can you do that? So it's really just wonderful to be able to take time out and just do something different. Ron, my husband, Ron, who is actually the president of the Hope Collection right now, he's at a men's prayer breakfast that our church puts on once a month. And so he had invited a bunch of friends, and so I know they were all meeting up and going to the prayer breakfast. And again, it's just one of those times that an opportunity to get together with people, share ideas, share testimonies, just be out and about. It's so important. If you're lonely, if you have no one, you feel like you have no one to talk to, sometimes it's just taking that little step of joining something. And with us, it's different church activities. We just last Saturday had our fall festival, and we had about 500 people there. There was everything like face painting for the kids, caricature drawing. There was an artist that drew caricatures. I just don't think it looks like me, but okay. They had a balloon artist. I have never seen such gorgeous. It was like one regret that I didn't get one of those wonderful balloons. They were just fabulous. My husband and I were in charge of the pumpkin patch, where we had this one area of the very large yard, if you were, and it had some trees, and it's just so they had taken, I don't know, maybe 200 pumpkins and hidden them under straw and around the trees, and so the kids could just run in and find a pumpkin, and so every child got a pumpkin to take with them. And they had there was actually food trucks. I had an ice cream in the afternoon. Just all kinds of games for kids and adults alike. And it's just a bouncy house for the kids and crafts. My sister-in-law made a pumpkin that was really, really a cute idea. And there's just so much going on. And everyone I've talked to that we invited like 16 people that came. And everyone had such a wonderful time. And sometimes it's just getting out and doing something fun and different. And if you get the opportunity sometimes to find out about something, go to it. And sometimes, like this, last year or 2 years ago, we went for the first time, and then just volunteers. And so last year and then this year, we volunteered to help. And sometimes that's really all it takes, is just finding something, going places, and can I help next year or help this year? And that's how you meet friends and develop friendships, just by being a little outgoing. You don't have to be super outgoing, but just you have to, get out of your comfort zone just a little. And in the end, it just really pays off. You can help a project, and you help yourself too. We had so much fun. The only thing that happened is I dressed overly warm. I'm thinking, it's a cool day. It was such a sunshiny day that I had to lose a sweatshirt along the way. It was just beautiful. Now, last year when we had it, it poured rain, but we have, we just had ways to get around that, and we still had almost 200 people there. So, it's just doing something out of the ordinary. Also, last Saturday in the evening, our 8th grade graduating class. It sounds crazy. This wasn't a high school reunion. It's the 56th reunion of our high school reunion of not high school, grade school. We graduated from 8th grade back in, I don't even know what year. I couldn't even tell you. And so for the 50th anniversary of our graduating class, one of the fellows said, let's get together. And we have done that every year. This was our 6th get together. And it was just so much fun. The first one, I didn't recognize anybody. Well, I recognized one person because she was in my wedding party, and I had seen her over the years. But everyone else we hadn't seen for 50 years, and it was hilarious. But now they're friends. Now we have Zoom calls together once a month. We had a picnic, a bunch of us that are in the Buffalo area still, had a picnic get together this year. It's just sometimes gives you new friends. The one couple that, again, we hadn't seen for 50 years, well, not even the couple, because obviously in 8th grade, Tom was not married to Cindy, but we got reconnected, and now, we have gone out to dinner a number of times. Cindy was in the hospital for quite a while with a heart problem, and I was able just to visit her and keep her company. And it's sometimes something as simple as, what it started was just somebody saying, hey, it's been 50 years since we graduated from 8th grade. Why don't we all get together? And Freddie just starting it just got the ball rolling. And so since then, and so that's, I guess, my whole point of today's message is really just get together as family and friends. And if you don't have family and friends right handy, just develop some new ones. Develop some friends. Volunteer for something. Take part in something. Just there's so many places that church is always a good place to start because you might have similar interests. But we've just been invited. Now, of course, we're retirement age now, but we've been invited to take part in some of the activities at a senior center. And some of the activities sound like a lot of fun. So something as simple as that, if you like to work out, maybe join an aerobics class or something that you can start small, but then, add some friends. Say, hey, afterwards, why don't you stop for a cup of coffee or something? And just, sometimes if you're looking to expand your friendship or get a friend, sometimes you have to make that first step. And sometimes it doesn't happen. So, but what you do is just say, okay, and go on to try something else. Don't let a negative experience think that every time you talk to anybody is going to be a negative experience, because it's not. Some people are having other problems that you might not even know about. But just by you being friendly and being outgoing, and you don't have to be the life of the party, but just sometimes just taking that step, giving that first smile, reaching a hand out, just to say hello to somebody. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. Like we knew that the Fall Fest at our church was a lot of fun, so we invited people for themselves to come, or people that we knew had kids and grandkids, and and sometimes with that, my sister-in-law was at, now she lives on the other side of town, and somebody said, I saw you at the Fall Fest last week. And here, again, probably 20 miles away from where the party was, somebody recognized my sister-in-law from the Fall Fest, and they got to talking, and they did their shopping together. They just walked through the aisles and just chatted for quite a while. So isn't that fun? And sometimes that's all it takes, is just recognizing somebody and saying, hey, you enjoyed that. It was fun, wasn't it? And just reaching out to somebody. So that's really all I wanted to talk about this morning, was just make a friend, be a friend, try something new. Just step out of your comfort zone and experience something new. So with that, I'm going to say have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy the sunshine, or enjoy the rain, which is kind of a rainy season in autumn here too. So enjoy it. Say hello to somebody you don't know, and just reach out that hand of friendship. So with that, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Just remember, Monday through Friday from noon to 1 Eastern Time, this same call is on, and there's different topics. Monday is Hometown Heroes. Tuesday is Travel Tuesday. Wednesday, I actually host Beth Wyman, who is a registered dietitian. We talk about all kinds of health-related. Thursday is family topics with Bob Oakley. Friday, we have the privilege of meeting Captain Len Kane, who founded the Golden Rule Society. And he was the original Top Gun. You've seen the movie maybe, but he's the real deal. He's the real guy. and was the Top Gun, and he has been nominated 5 times for a Nobel Peace Prize for the work he's done with the Golden Rule Society. And then Saturday, I just kind of have a half-hour week in review, which is what this was. And the guest call-in number is 714-816, and that is the calls during the week. And there's many, many more. Those are just the noon calls that I'm highlighting, and it's noon to 1 Eastern U.S. time. So with that, I'm going to say have a wonderful, wonderful day, and God bless. Bye-bye.